Don't let them lie to you. In this video, I am going to tell you what life really is after uni. Because these people have been lying to us. They have been lying to us. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. It is so lovely to have you here listening to me speak on this amazing microphone. Today's topic is a particularly interesting topic that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, ever since finishing uni. I know, as you know, some of you that might be watching this video, I know particularly as graduates or people still at uni, you might be curious as to what life was or is going to be after uni. And today I particularly wanted to focus on my personal experience. Yes, my personal experience, and also the job market, job hunting in particular after uni, because after uni we use uni to get our degree so we can get the bag from a job. So I'm going to talk about that particular side of things. First, I want to start by talking about, of course, my personal experience. When I was in my third year, which is my final year of uni, I was studying global health and social medicine at King's College London. I was, that phase is the most important phase where, you're graduating, you're thinking of, okay, what else am I going to do with my life besides, being classified as a uni student? And a lot of people tend to forget that life actually exists outside of uni. And what I had to do was that I knew, especially with my circumstances, being from a care leaving background, so I was basically responsible for my own care. So I didn't have, for example, a parent to fall back on, and I knew I had to, especially after uni, when you no longer have student loan, I needed to find a job that would take care of me. So I knew as soon as third year hit, I needed to get those graduate schemes. That was my main focus, right? And with me, I started applying at the beginning of the semester, at the beginning of third year. So as soon as the applications started opening around September, I was already there taking all the aptitude tests, all the applying for all the grad schemes that I thought would look good on my CV, So that period when I was hustling at the start of September, it was an overwhelming period, because that period was when I had to start focusing on my dissertation, the end of year deadlines and so on for the last year, because that will make your overall grade. And it's this overwhelming feeling of, okay, this is the last year. I need to get out of uni having a, good grade, but I also need to secure a job before I leave uni, unless I'm basically screwed, because after the last student loan payment, there is basically no money. And if I don't have money, I can't pay for my rent or my bills, and so I'm screwed. So I had all that anxiety basically playing up in my head. And going back to job applications, no one tell you how much rejection you will face. I am pretty sure I applied to at least around between 20 to 40 graduate schemes, and mostly all of them I got rejections. And that gave me a realization that life after uni is not what it seems, because it's like, you think, for example, you have this degree that will open loads of opportunity, especially me going to an amazing uni. It will open loads of opportunities for me to be able to get jobs, get a well-paying job at that, not just a job in retail, but a job. And, the field I was interested in was, government or public health industries, social science industry. So I was particularly applying for those fields, and I had an interest in like finance. So I was applying, but I was getting rejected, and I was like, God, it was getting close, so close. I started in September. I was getting rejected right, left, and center in January. I continued to apply. So I just felt like, what is going on here? I thought this was supposed to be easy, and it's not easy, right? And what I had to do at that time was realize that I needed some sort of help, right? So for example, the university that I was going to, King's College London, had a lot of like CV and cover letter help that they could grant to students. So I went to those services to help me with my CV and cover letter, which actually did help. And I end up, for example, receiving interviews. Even after some of those interviews, I still got rejections. And it just meant that at that time, it was a really stressful time, especially when I was telling you about my background, because I was panicking. I was like, if I'm not able to secure a job, I don't know what to do, because I'm not going to be able to take care of myself and pay rent, And so, yeah, I didn't have a choice. For me, in particular, some uni students, they want after uni to do a master's, sort of, they want to like travel and so on. I didn't really have that choice. Yeah. For me, I would have liked to have traveled and just chilled after uni. But for me, I didn't have that choice because I was a care leaver. So I needed to take care of myself, because the government wasn't going to take care of me anymore, because I'm over the age of 18. And now that I'm no longer a student, I'm not receiving that student loan. So now my life depends on me and me only. You know what I mean? So I needed to hustle. So what I did, towards like closer to the end, I applied for a few retail job around like March-ish, before the last semester finished. I applied for like retail jobs. I worked in a hotel to get some money and save up some money. I also applied for a few internships as well with 10,000 Black interns. Also applied for like, other like loads of retail jobs, as I said. And I ended up securing 2 retail jobs within the space of 3 months before I graduated uni, and also an internship, which then led to me getting my first ever permanent job, well-paying job after uni, as a public realm engagement team coordinator within my particular council. So for me, I was like, finally, after what felt like hundreds of rejection, I've finally done it. And then if you watch the last video, or the last 2 videos before this video, you would know I was made redundant. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, I was made redundant, and this is something that no one particularly prepares you for. People say, oh, you go to uni, you find a well-paying job, but no one ever talks to you about, how hard the job market is right now, especially when fundings from the government have been cut from like most council or local government job or national government jobs. So it's making it so hard for people, especially students who have less experience, to get into those fields, because most of these jobs will be asking for a minimum of 2 years experience before you can get this job. You know what I mean? And I just say, like, it can be daunting for a student. For this part of the video, I wanted to talk about my experience joining the workforce after uni, especially as a ethnic minority Black woman, basically joining the work field. A lot of people, they won't tell you about the imposter syndrome you face when you join the workforce, right? For me in particular, looking at my background, being a care leaver and then, a young Black woman as well, I just felt like it was a space where I didn't really belong. You know what I mean? And it took a while for me to kind of shake off that feeling, because for me at the start, I was so trying to prove myself that even when I did get the job, I deserved to be there. Like, I was doing the most. I wanted to, bring in, especially with my job, it was to do with engagement. I wanted to bring a lot of new ideas, new fresh ideas, improve the team. I was managing a team. So there were loads of things that I wanted to do in order to say, yes, I am well equipped for the job. Yes, I can fulfill the duties of this job. And it took someone telling me that there is no rush to prove yourself. Just do the job that is necessary for you to do your job description, and that is basically it. And I think that is what a lot of, especially ethnic minorities, struggle with. We think that, we always need to overprove ourselves, work harder than other people within the job field. But as long as you do your job, that is all that matters. As long as you do it well to the standard that they want it to be done to. Sometimes you don't need to be extra. And I tend to be extra. That's the thing. And I think that comes from a place of, fear of not being good enough, fear of feeling that, especially for me after uni, it was like, oh, I haven't had a lot of experience, like all like everyone that is working within my workplace, I haven't had as much experience as them, so I'm trying to do the most, come up with so many new ideas, like starting to basically like burn out myself when I just started a job. You know what I mean? So what I would say to anyone who is going into the job field, you might struggle with imposter syndrome, but that's okay. All you need to think of is you were chosen to be there because they saw the potential in you to bring great things. So you absolutely deserve to be there. So don't feel like you need to overprove yourself. As long as you get the job done, that is okay. So, in order to get a well-paying job after uni, these are the steps I would take. One of them is getting experience. Get your experience, yeah. I know it's so hard. Like, I hear a lot of people saying, how can I get experience if no one wants to give me the experience? But the way I would navigate that is, if you, for example, you're applying for internships and you can't get those internships, I would volunteer, right? Most volunteering tends to be free. Like, for example, would volunteer for a local charity. I would volunteer for, my local community center or my local area, just to get that experience within like a field that you're interested in. And through that experience, you can then show that through internships, when you're applying for internships, that you are capable of working with other people, things like that. And even within uni, there are jobs as well for students to, apply to. So you can do that as well to get that experience. You know what I mean? And once, for example, let's say you do secure those internships, really be able to, showcase that you have the skills or the potential skills to be good at a job that, for example, you apply for. And that comes down to how well you write your CV or cover letter. If you're not someone who is particularly good at, let's say, writing CV or cover letters, there is help out there. For example, if you go to uni, it should be free, the help that they give you. They have, for example, career advisors in uni that can help you basically draft a CV and a cover letter for, like, let's say a role that you want to apply for. So you can use those resources to help you. You can also use career advice, like to prep for your interviews as well. Let's say you have an interview coming up. So use those resources provided to you for free, because after uni, I'm sorry, it is no longer free, right? You see a lot of LinkedIn people, a lot of social media people who work within the career workspace, basically asking for your money to pay them for them to teach you how to secure a well-paying job. So whilst you're at uni, take advantage of that. You know what I mean? Or even, let's say, for example, now that you're done with uni and you're watching this video, there are also free resources out there as well. For example, you can go to Eventbrite, or you can go to you can register for your alumni emailing system or emailing network system, and they can basically provide you. There are loads of provisions, like, for example, after uni, for you to then come back to uni for like career advice or CV advice. So utilize those resources. Also, if you are not networking, you need to start networking now, right? Go to these networking student events, utilize them, because I assure you they help. And it's helped me very, very well, especially now, after my redundancy. I've now secured a job just because I was able to network with people outside my workplace. You know what I mean? So networking is key, and you can find loads of networking events, for example, or on Eventbrite, or student unions, or student boards, and so on. So utilize them. Network. You know what I mean? And when, let's say, for example, let's say you're still struggling with finding a internship, utilize those internships that particularly focus on getting ethnic minorities. Let's say you're someone from an ethnic minority background, job opportunities and internships. The one that particularly helped me to secure a really good internship was 10,000 Black interns, if you're from the UK, targeted towards Black and ethnic minority students. So go for those jobs that diversify the workplace, and it gives you a higher chance of basically securing a job within that field. Also, stop just focusing on graduate schemes, right? Focus on entry level jobs as well. I know a lot of entry level jobs, they're trying to act bougie now, right? So they'll say you need 2 years of experience, but most of the time the employers who are actually hiring, they're not the ones writing those job descriptions. So they don't know if it says 2 years on the job application thing that you apply for. So you just apply for those, because there are loads of, for example, white men who go for jobs that they're underqualified for. So why shouldn't you? You should go for jobs that you are so underqualified for that it feels disgustingly bad that you're even applying for that job. That's what I do, right? And that's why I've been able to secure jobs that are well above the paying rate for my age as a 23-year-old. You know what I mean? So don't feel afraid to apply, because most of the people who are even applying for those jobs are not even qualified so what is stopping you? Do that. Besides saying all these things, I just want to end this video by saying, give yourself grace, right? Plan early, of course. Start early. The earlier you start, the more experiences you get, the more rejections you get earlier on, the more you're able to learn from those rejections and so on. But also give yourself grace. You know what I mean? So give yourself grace. Pray. If you're a religious person, pray that God guides you to the right place. But yeah, I hope this video gave you a bit more insight as to what they don't tell you after uni, and I hope I was able to give you tips on how you can navigate, especially the job market after uni as well. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.